So here is a slightly shortened and more specific version of I know what I voted for in 2016 and 2019 and I've now got it. But I'm making some assumptions a little bit clearer in this. I'll give you an example. So I referred to the promise on the bus. Now somebody commenting on the video said, I was watching all the campaign, but I never saw that slogan on the bus. So to be more specific, this message is for people who do say, I know what I voted for in 2016 and 2019, and I've now got it, and I saw all those promises, and I wasn't expecting them to be true, because obviously if I was expecting them to be true, I'd be disappointed. And I'm also assuming that if I say this message is for somebody, that it's for somebody who says this and cares about the issues that we're talking about trade with Europe, for example, about our ability to live, work and study in other countries in Europe. So, excuse the homemade graphics. There have been positive and negative comments about those. I can use PowerPoint, but I quite like to interact with the physical things. So the message of this video is very similar to the one I've already done. No need to watch it again, but I'm going to try and make this shorter with fewer digressions and to make the assumptions more specific. So if you said, I know what I voted for and I've now got it, I saw those promises. If you said that, then that's who I'm talking to. I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth. If you didn't say that, then you're welcome to watch the video, but alternatively, just move on. So what sort of promises are we talking about, or statements? Somebody said, oh, these were not necessarily lies. They may just have been crafty statements, crafty messages intended to give a particular impression. So actually that doesn't matter. The question is, are you saying that you were not misled by any of those things? So although you heard the reference that it should be the easiest trade deal in history, somebody wanted to stress should be, nonetheless, from your point of view, I made graphics again, as per David Frost has now said, we didn't expect it to be so difficult to negotiate a deal with the EU. So you're not disappointed that that's not true. You're presumably not disappointed that actually our place in the single market was indeed under threat and was lost. And it doesn't matter when these promises are made. Somebody pointed out, oh, look at Andrew Neil on GBBs talking to James McCrory. That's why the message is you voted in 2016 and 2019, because that was significant as well. So if you did see those promises, you saw the promise that you'll still be able to live, work, study, travel anywhere in the EU, and given that didn't turn out to be true, presumably you're not disappointed about that. And fair enough, for some people that's not an issue, I understand that. The message that there will be no change for EU citizens lawfully resident in the UK, that these EU citizens will automatically be granted indefinite leave to remain in the UK, will be treated no less favourably than at present. Again, you're not disappointed that that didn't turn out to be true. There are enormous hoops for people to jump through, and even at the end of it, they don't get a document demonstrating that they are entitled to be in the UK, which could put them at a disadvantage when looking for rental properties. For just as one example, accommodation could well be for employment as well. Now, I did show some of the graphic images, some of the messages that were sent out during the Leave campaign. I'm not assuming that you saw those, because these were targeted to specific people. The one about Turkey joining the EU. And some people, in response to the original video, said, yes, but what about Turkey? I don't think Turkey did join the EU, actually. So it doesn't really make sense to raise that as something that the Leave campaign talked about that came true, because it didn't. But anyway, I'm not referring to those graphic images. So my message is, and I will make it simpler than, less to it than before. So you weren't voting for any of those statements. You weren't voting for the easiest trade deal in history. You didn't expect 350 million to be freed up for anything, which of course it couldn't be. You didn't expect that ability to travel to Europe. You didn't expect EU citizens' rights to be respected. But you still voted for Brexit because of sovereignty or whatever. A lot of people were looking for their sovereignty. We, of course, in View Delta now do supply sovereignty for £48.52. Completely empty box, but has our books and CDs come with it, or £52.48 for the USB version. And, you know, my message, as in the original video, is all I'm saying really is it's interesting that knowing that none of these things would come true, because you were aware of that, you weren't misled, but you didn't write anything, or not that I'm aware of, didn't describe the situation that we were heading for, whereby none of these things would be true. And some Leave supporters derided those pro-EU people who said, well, actually, I don't think these things are going to happen. So a simple ask, if this is you, and of course, you know, I understand it's not all Leave voters. Dominic Cummings, for example, he was director of Vote Leave. He was designing the campaign. So I think we should believe him on the success of the campaign. You know, he said that a number of people, quite a lot of people, in the several millions, voted for Brexit because of the fake promise on the bus. But if you knew all these things were false, but you voted for Brexit anyway, if that's you, as I say, that's not all Leave voters, but if that's you, then will you help us to sort out the mess that we're now in as a result? That's all I'd ask. And you can, of course, subscribe to the channel. I think that's it. I don't think I'll make another video on the subject of I know what I voted for, unless you really ask me to. But 20,000 of you have seen the first one, so here's a shorter version in case that would be useful. A little bit shorter anyway. Okay, thank you.